Hi, Julie Rader here with the astrology for the week of September 27th through October 3rd. So we start the week off on Monday, the moon's day, with the moon in Gemini. And the moon in Gemini is making a lot of aspects on the moon's day. Oh, and Mercury is now retrograde. It went retrograde on the evening Pacific time of the 26th. So now we're now officially in Mercury retrograde season. So really, all the Mercury retrograde things apply. Not ideal for buying electronics or a new car or anything of that nature. Signing contracts, really not starting anything new. However, you may repolish and revisit the things that you've already started. So on Monday, the 27th, there is a lot of air energy because the moon is in Gemini and Gemini is making a few aspects. It is making a square to Neptune in Pisces. So this can, on the moon's day, make us a little moody. It can make us even a bit unconfident. So a way to really balance out the energy, like I always suggest, but especially with this kind of aspect, is meditation. And the reason being, with all of this air energy, very cerebral energy, and this square to Neptune, and Mercury being retrograde, which Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, and we are on the moon's day, and the moon is in Gemini, it can make us unclear. So if we do meditation or even stream of consciousness writing or journaling, then we gain more clarity and we feel more balanced. So that's one way to really deal with this energy. Then the moon is also, remember, the moon aspects are very, very fast moving. We don't feel them for very long, but this is sort of the theme of the day. Air energy, moon in Gemini can have us feeling a little scattered. We have this trine to Jupiter in retrograde in Aquarius. The moon is trine Jupiter retrograde. And this is a more social, happy, uplifting aspect. However, it can have us overdoing. And Jupiter, even though Jupiter in ancient astrology is the great benefic, it also is the magnifying glass. So if that earlier Neptune square has us feeling a little funky, this trine to Jupiter can actually be magnifying it. So again, meditate early in the day. And then by the time this Jupiter retrograde hits in the afternoon here in California, adjust for your time zone, then we can feel more social, uplifted, happy. Because then we also have the moon making a trine shortly after that to Mercury retrograde in Libra. So Mercury retrograde is already a time of going inward. Our intuition can be heightened. It's believed those who are born with Mercury retrograde are born highly intuitive already. So when it's transiting, but with Mercury retrograde in Libra being an air sign, turn another air sign in Gemini, it really can be a very reflective time, intuitive time. So pay attention to those intuitive hits you receive. Then on Tuesday, the 28th, the moon will then be in Cancer. This is Mars's day. However, with the moon being in Cancer, Cancer is the ruler of the moon, and its first aspect is a square, which can sometimes be challenging. It's definitely an action-oriented aspect to the sun in Libra. This really is the whole day. The theme is relationships, home, and family. My needs versus the needs of another, whether it be family members or those in relationship or those even in business partnership. But with the moon being in Cancer, We feel a lot more, and it is a bit more focused on home and family. Then on Wednesday, the 29th, this is Mercury's day. This really is a day of healing. We have, while we're asleep here in Pacific time, the moon will make a square to Mars in Libra, and then a square to Chiron in Aries. Both of these, with this Cancer moon, are asking us to, how can we heal? How can we heal our hurt? How can we be motivated to heal past wounds? How can we step out of victim mode? And we may have dreams that reflect this. I highly recommend keeping a dream journal, writing down any dreams, because they may provide some insight. Then we have Venus and Scorpio trining Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So Venus in Scorpio is the great detective. She's very strategic, and when she's making this trine, this beautiful aspect to Neptune and Pisces, Scorpio is very intuitive. Neptune is the unconscious or the subconscious. In Pisces, it's swimming the realms between the unconscious world and the conscious world. So this really is a time where we can, again, receive some intuitive hits that help us heal. We can really get to the root of underlying circumstances, perhaps in our relationships or finances, having Venus involved. And then we also have the sun in Libra trining, again, a harmonious aspect, Saturn, which is retrograde in Aquarius. So this Libra sun, again, and this, we will feel this for about a day or so, along with the Venus Neptune trine. The sun trining Saturn, it's how can we work? How can we work together? How can we work together for the greater vision of humanity? How can we work to make not only our own lives, but the lives of others more fulfilling? How can we live in a way that feels purpose driven? So on Thursday, the 30th of September, the moon is still in Cancer, and it's making some aspects. But the big news of the day is this Venus in Scorpio squaring Jupiter retrograde in Aquarius. This can bring a lot of feelings, lot of feelings, lot of amplified feelings, because Jupiter feels a lot anyway, and Venus is there. So feeling a lot about our relationships, our love, maybe even our finances and self worth. With this square to Jupiter retrograde, it's really about going inward. Jupiter is a great benefic, but again, the great magnifying glass. So asking ourselves, how can we love ourselves more? How can we enhance our self worth? Then at about 6 p.m. Pacific time, the moon will move into Leo. And its first aspect is a square to Uranus and Taurus. So, with this being its first aspect, it really is, and the moon being our feelings, really there could be a sudden change in feelings, or maybe something happens as far, because Uranus is in Taurus. Maybe something is happening with our self worth or with our finances, or maybe we're just feeling, like I was saying before, what can I do to enhance my self worth? What can I do to make sure that I feel confident and loving and really tap into the highest version of myself? The moon is now in Leo, and the moon in Leo, it exudes confidence. So we need to examine anything that is keeping us from feeling confident. Then on Friday, Venus's day, we have Mercury retrograde in Libra opposing Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. With this retrograde energy, it really is about looking at how we not only speak to others, but how do we speak to ourselves? How can we speak to ourselves in a loving way? When we speak to ourselves in a way that is unkind, or we focus on our flaws, perceived thought flaws, it's important that we nip it in the bud and that we cut it off and we ask ourselves, how would I speak to myself if I were speaking to myself as a young child? What are some loving things I could say? How would I speak to myself if I were my own best friend, which that's our ultimate goal, that we are our own best friend, that we really are looking out for our best interest always. So we also, this can bring about hasty speech. So really, again, taking that pause before speaking, being aware of sharp words that can come out. There can be a tendency towards sharp words or just rambling. So it's going to be more the sharp words, though, to really watch out for. And then the moon is also making a lot of aspects, the moon still in Leo. Then on Saturday, the 1st of October, we have Venus and Scorpio sextile Pluto retrograde in Capricorn. So this Venus sextile Pluto, this is really where we can look again, where we will have more more positivity in the way that we speak to ourselves. And since the moon is in Leo, and the moon in Leo is quite confident and quite loving, then this is a day where it's important that we treat ourselves like the king or queen, or king, or that we are meant to feel, that we feel confident rather than feeling like a victim, which the Leo moon does not put up with. This Venus and Scorpio wants to actually get to the root of the matter with Pluto and Capricorn. But this Leo moon then also squares Pluto in Scorpio, and that's the last aspect. We really do need to look at, okay, how can I change? And there is a possibility for transformation on this day. How can I transform the way that I speak to myself, the way that I feel about myself? How can I transform my finances as well? So, day of transformation, it's Saturn's day, and Venus, though, is the one that is demanding attention. On Sunday, the sun's day, we have the sun in Libra opposing Chiron in Aries. So we are being asked, how can I heal? How can I heal my own past wounds? How can I heal my relationships with others? The moon is now in Capricorn. Its first aspect is a square to the North Node. So it is saying, okay, how can we work together? How can I work together with another person in a harmonious way? How can we stop fighting? How can we release the things that aren't working in this partnership as we're moving forward toward our destiny? And then we also, on this day, we have the second of the three, the pair of Mercury trine Jupiter aspects, which is a really beautiful aspect. It's an aspect of really a lot of ideas flowing in, higher thought processes, getting a lot of intuitive hits now that Mercury is retrograde. And the reason we have the three in this short period of time, the first of this three was on the 20th of September. And that was while Mercury was still going direct, or well, it was stationed, but it was not retrograde yet. So then it goes retrograde, moving over that point, and then it will go forward and move over that point one more time in this cluster. So we're revisiting, maybe looking back at ideas that you had or things that came up. Look back at your calendar from the 20th of September and see if you've made any progress since then, or see if perhaps there are areas where you can um, make some changes, revisions, refine certain areas. So this is the energy of the week, first week of Mercury retrograde here in Libra. A lot of cerebral activity, a lot of inner work, healing, transformation. Do the inner work, do the Mercury retrograde work, which is going back, revisiting, refining, relaxing, taking a bit more time um, before pushing things forward. I hope this was helpful. Please like, subscribe, share this video with others. Thanks for taking the time.